need that. I know you want that. Everything just looking hella sad. Niggas looking at the situation like, damn, where was my dad? Looking at the situation like, damn, where was everybody's daddy? Like, nigga, it ain't just about me or you, like what we supposed to do. I told them conscious activity is deeper than they be getting to. I'ma put you on to something different. Told you maybe if you listen, you would understand that, baby, you been gifted. Niggas always wanna formulate the energy through the crown, baby. Yeah, your tempo taking too much speed. I been thinking late, baby, if we slowed it down, then put everything through your chakras, let it out. But you don't even understand how you open up. It's okay, I know you need it, and baby, yeah, what's up? I'ma give you a little soul, hope you taste it enough. Cause baby, once you get strung out, you gon' be real stuck. I know you need it, I know you want it, I know you need it, and yeah, I got it, baby. I know you need it, I know you want it, I know you need it, I know you got it, baby. I know you need it, I know you want it, I know you need it, you know I got it, baby. I know you need it, I know you want it, I know you need it, you know I got it, baby. Look, I got you whatever you wanna go through. I told you niggas I'm a warrior built for whatever. Honestly, you ain't gon' like my motherfucking methods, but it be getting you and me through any kind of weather. I be doing what I need to, nigga. I'ma do whatever I want when it come to me, boo. Niggas always got the game so fucking confused, like I'm in charge of the key for a new you. Nigga, you don't even understand, like, do you? But it's okay, cause I don't take it as disrespectful. Hope I open up the temples and you rearrange everything that you've been thinking, cause baby, I ain't the same. I'm Jane. These niggas want them everything, like they rolling up late at night, smoking when they wanna relax, like Jane. These niggas want them every day, like the Murray James that they rolling up at night when they on the reflex. I know you need that. Reflex. I know you want that. Reflex. I know you need that. Reflex. I know you want that. I know you need that. I know you want that. I know you need that. You know I got it, baby. I know you need that. I know you want that. I know you need that. You know I got you, baby. I know you need that. I know you want that. I know you need that. I know you got it, baby. I know you need that. I know you want that. I know you need that. You know I got you, baby. Know I got you any kind of way that I be doing whatever. It don't even matter if we together, like baby. Know I got you. You know I got you, cause love is unconditional. When you come to me, I know you need it. Oh, put it in your soul, keep it in the locket if you need to. Just don't put me in a little pocket, baby. Know you need that, so I'ma get that. I know you need that, and I don't need that. Uh, 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 uh. Hola, welcome to live tarot reading with Jane the Sage. Um, I think I'm going to start off with a general energy reading until people slide in, But first, I want to talk about a little bit about what I'm doing, you know? So you're not completely blindsided by the process going on here. After some meditation and working with my own personal altars, come to my attention that a lot of people do tarot readings and want tarot readings. They want people dipping into like their ancestral energy and shit, but they don't be paying respect to their ancestors. So I've lit some supplementary candles here for other people's ancestors as they roll through, so that they can catch the vibe and roll out if they need to. But to build a basis of clean communication with them. Because that's how a lot of people be taking on energy that they can't, clean off type shit. The next thing I'm going to do, and I was saging because sage cleanses the air, but also kind of, makes everything work around you in the way that needs to work around you. It goes off of the energy that you start putting out after you sage. That's why I love to tell you to open the window, but I don't have my window open right now because everything I'm doing right now, I need to stay in here. I need to go out completely. I needed to go here and through the screen to you guys. You know what I'm saying? And that's why I was doing that. But I lit the candles for everybody's ancestors. Let's roll through. You know what I'm saying? You're welcome. You're welcome. You're welcome.
We got our incense lit as well so that they get some air as they come through. No water. Y'all can put a glass of water out if y'all want to. Mine's like to drink liquor. They had enough liquor this month. Well, last month. They're going to get some more liquor this month. And I'm going to go ahead and donate 2 of my spirit monies to y'all. Really? I'm going to give y'all 1 spirit money because it's lots of spirit money, okay? Spirit money not cheap in the real world. You know what I'm saying? It's not cheap. So, this is ancestor money, aka spirit money. I say the best to use is the one with the Chinese faces on it or Asian people on it because Asian people low key the ones it's their fucking fault. We gotta give money to our ancestors. Cause I mean, let's be realistic. They're on the other side. What the fuck you gonna do with money? But you know, when you die, you're dying thinking that you owe money and you're dying thinking that you still need to pay for shit when you're dead. So, you know, to help limit confusion to everybody's spirit and for those spirits in a chokehold because they need some dollars, we're gonna dedicate the spirit money. So this is like, I can't even count how many. Give me a second. I'm not gonna keep saying I can't. I think it's 100 billion. 100 million, maybe. There's a lot of zeros on there. But we don't need to get too deep in that. This is a lot of money. And we're gonna burn this for y'all. Depending on how fast it burns, we're gonna see what the fuck y'all be doing. Or whoever's gonna come through here. Oh no. Oh no. We got some workers watching. And y'all must be helping this shit get distributed or something because yeah, y'all seen that shit? How it stopped burning? I know y'all see that shit. It stopped burning and then it started burning again. This is the most uniformed I done seen this shit burn in a minute. But you didn't need the whole thing. You got to take the whole thing. I can't do shit with this. So somebody obviously be having some hiccups financially. Somebody watching having hiccups financially. And you might be having hiccups financially because you be giving other people your money. If you're giving other people your money, make sure that they're giving you something in return, whether that be food, time, love, respect, whatever the fuck. Because at the end of the day, money is an energetic exchange, whether that's through spirit, whether that's through, you know, you working a job or whatever have you. Yeah, because this one of them things seem like somebody's not um, one asking for help or two they're not accepting help. So it's a compound situation we got going on right here. But I'm gonna make sure you get this shit because I'm not. There we go. There we go. There we go. And a little bit more. Yeah, so that was interesting. Typically, people don't really do a lot of work with their ancestors, so that shit just go, you know what I'm saying? Disappear. And it didn't like automatically just up and try to disappear right then and there, and that is a good sign. So I'm offering $5 present, past, and future readings. I don't know if it like pulled up there or if the description is available, but just asking that folks cash at me at Jane the model for that, and we'll get those dished out. But I'm burning some Palo Santo now, and while I'm waiting, I am going to do a general reading for the month we just entered, the energy we're experiencing now. And you know, I hope that inclines some of you to delve a little deeper into an actual personal reading. But at the same time, a lot of general readings happen to be more accurate more often than not because a lot of people are doing the same shit. So maybe you slid through here because you just needed a little insight. Maybe you slid through here because you just want to slide through. Either way, I'm grateful and thankful for your appearance today. Thankful that you have breath in your lungs and oxygen in your brain, because without that thing, you would not be here. You know what I'm saying? But let's get right into it. Today, I am going to be using, as always, the Tarot of the Orisha deck. And if you're not familiar with the Orishas or what they are a part of a Ifa, which is a religion system, a part of the the sector of Yoruba under the classification of Nigeria. That is something about their origins. They have a pantheon of gods, much like Hinduism, and it's another one that be over there. I know that the Hindus and somebody else was fighting, but it might have just been subgroups within Hinduism, because everybody God got to be the right God, got to be the correct God. But anyways, it's like that, but with Black people, African people, and each Orisha represents a particular, you can say, chakra, energy, or represents a person, attitude, different parts of what it means to be a human and the human experience and shit like that. Before I finish shuffling these up, I'm just gonna put this shit in the chat before I forget, just in case it didn't show up. Cause Spirit was like, you can keep going out here doing shit for free. That's cool. Sometimes you need money too. And I was like, you know what? I get it. And I give it to you. Sometimes I be picking the worst days to do this shit for money, and then nobody bites. But then the days I pick not to do it for money, everybody comes through. And I mean, that's just like the energy of our reality right now. A lot of people like to take, a lot of people don't like to give. But I'm not mad or anything about that, or saying that to be like up on a soapbox or anything. It's just the reality of it. Like, that's why I started doing it for free, because so many people need shit. But occasionally, it will cost you. We've entered Taurus season, slowly approaching fucking Gemini season, and you see that shit coming out. And people see that shit coming out and everything. We hit I'd say like a silent period in our time right now. Because ain't a whole bunch of noise being made right now. I ain't seen a whole bunch about people dying. I ain't seen a whole bunch about COVID. Besides, folks want to get the vaccines. They talking about uplifting restrictions. They trying to get back to a lackadaisical view on everything. But how we go from war tactic on COVID to not so war tactic, low-key a dramatic, energetic exchange and change. But we're going to see what the cards got to say. I'm going to pull 5 cards, since that's the number this month. And I like odd numbers. And I have even number of candles around me. Why does that matter? Because I feel like it does. It's a feeling more often than not. I be getting high doing this shit sometimes. And I guess you could say that's literally like me being connected through spirit and all that shit. Like, I be experiencing so many emotions and thoughts and intuition and shit. You gotta be able to control it, clean it off, and still do you. But you gotta be able to do that shit quickly as you're reading tarots for other people. A lot of people don't really dive deep into that type of energy, so they don't really offer those kind of readings. Jane. Mary Jane. Mary Jane. So I'm gonna draw 5 cards, and then I'm gonna leave one out and up just for clarification to wrap us up. Damn. All right. So off rip, we got 2 major cards: the Devil, the Earth. The Earth, and then we have Fire, Water, and like air. They're dealing more so with, I guess you could say, like the imaginative side of things. Hmm. I know somebody probably gonna look at this shit and say the devil came up because we entering Gemini season. Not all Geminis ain't shit, okay? Just the ones who aren't healed or going through the healing process. They need patience and love, okay? And weed. Make sure you got weed. All right, so the first card we're going to take a look at, the first card in our spread is fairies and sylphs. I just call them fae. Like, it's a card representing the fae. You can kind of see that as representing her energy. But anytime I get like a card like that, it's most definitely dealing with thoughts. It's dealing with the mind, dealing with imagination, and a little bit of like passion and stuff regarding that. And I'm going to read the definition out of the book because I like people to come up with their own ideologies as well. I'm not just going to force feed you what I know and through my perspective. Of course, I'm going to offer my perspective because that's why I'm here. But I also want you to formulate your own perspective and kind of learn how to do tarot reading as I'm going through this tarot reading because a lot of people be getting gypped out here. A lot of y'all be getting, boo-boo the food out here, okay? So this card may represent an old, mature man, a woman who is a dreamer, sensible, melancholic, inspired, a poet, an artist, teacher, writer, scientist, etc. Someone with a fine character and with strong conviction, faithful, and tender. In combination with other negative cards, chimerical processes, false illusions, lost illusions, false prospects, projects with no grounds or future. Keep that in mind. I'm going to read in combination with other negative cards, chimerical processes, false illusions, lost illusions, false prospects, projects with no grounds or future. That's our very first card. And it also says that the card may represent an old, mature man or woman, basically. But the description of this card also is these elementals govern the mental functions, taking part in telepathic processes, increasing precognition and clairvoyance, increase in intuition and hypersensitivity. Okay, so I'm going to read the next definition, and I'm going to keep reading definitions before I get into the card so you can kind of start putting your energy on it, you know what I'm saying? The next card we have received, lovelies, is the devil. The devil. It'd be like, the devil is alive. The devil is just your mind. Let's start there. Like, I know Christianity got people out here fucking twisted and discombobulated because Christianity itself is just a framework of thinking. Like, if you really break the book apart, it's just a guideline of this is how somebody else thought, and they thought that you should think like this, so they put it in your hands. Kind of like what EFI and all that shit is. They're all different ways of you figuring out how you want to think in this world. And so is the devil. He's your thinking when you don't have your thinking under control. He becomes your literal demon, your restrictor. But I'm going to read the definition for him as well before I get deep into it. You know what I'm saying? Where'd it go? Y'all hiding out here or whatever. So I'm not going to read the whole description of that card because I just basically gave you one. But upright, black magic or evil witchcraft, terrible energetic and or spiritual pressure creating a completely negative magnetic field. ignorance, bad thoughts, jealousy, and destroying envy, wickedness at all levels. I'm gonna get into my opinions about that shit. The next card we have is Three of Fire. Three of Fire. Fire. And it's reversed, but I'm gonna show it to you upright first. Three of Fire upright is you got your three torches encased in gold, and in the middle is like gold in between it. It's like the bounty, the sack, the bountiful sack. And in a way, you could look at this as representing like, the Holy Trinity, not that gay ass Christian Trinity, God, God Jr., and God Invisible. The man, the child, the woman. The man and the child, the man and the woman are both on the ground with the sack, and the child is above the sack because in technicality, with the way that we've been living life for the past couple thousand years, people feel like they, one, have to connect themselves, ground themselves, and two, connect themselves in a purpose that manifests materialistic wealth in order to reach that in which they believe is God. But upside down, withdrawal of cooperation efforts, the fire was extinguished. Adverse opinions and vested interests that may hide in the darkness and shadows of the night. Resorting to lies or false statements, waiting to seize the gold that will fall from the set. Freedom will be extinguished as light has been, perhaps as a result of vanity or pride, corruption, selfishness, and matter prevailing over the spirit. If the fire goes out, it is for lack of oxygen. You will feel depressed and suffocated and may be subject to phobias, fear of confined places, etc. Hmm. 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 The next card we have is a major card, which is the Earth. We received it upside down as well, but if you get a look at it, you got a dragon, you got, your ram, goat, however you want to look at it, the fish, and then I think that's a duck up there in the corner. And the Earth is wrapped around by a snake. More often than not, in creation stories, they talk about dragons and snakes as being, the guardians of our time. And they always put it there. But we think snakes are like some of the worst things to ever happen in our society. And it's like, why? Why do you have those thoughts? Why do you think the way that you do? Who gave you your line of thinking? Have you ever thought about that? My bad, y'all. It disappeared on me. Found it. Upside down, closed doors, roads full of difficulties and obstacles. Care should be taken when traveling. Difficulties during trips or in making plans. Aborted or complex moves. Trouble in becoming pregnant or during pregnancy with possibility of miscarriage. Hesitation and delays caused by you. Lack of practicality. Hmm. Now, everybody else online seem like they might just be giving like some high spirited ass readings and all that shit. And that's because they ain't truly like tethered. Now, being truly tethered to Earth and all its energy comes with drawbacks. I can't even say consequences. It's not really a consequence, it's a drawback. But that comes with any type of innate what they consider supernatural ability, which is actually a natural ability that everybody has, because you can do what I'm doing right now. Just got to get the balls to do it. You know what I'm saying? I'm not saying that you don't have the balls to do it, because you probably do. Who knows? I don't know who's watching. I I don't know at all. But we're gonna get into our last card, which is Ace of Water. Of Water. Reverse. Upright. We have a dolphin straight up out the water on a sunny day. You know what I'm saying? He's looking you in the eyes like I'm a dolphin, doing what dolphins do, but it's reverse. As like most of these cards. Reversed, it means imbalance, false. Now I hope you have some time to digest that a little bit. And now let's really get into this shit. Excuse me, I had to burp. Get my handy dandy stones in my hand because I've been working on energetic control as I'm doing these things so people don't think I'm yelling at them the whole fucking time. Even though they need to be yelled at because that's what your ancestors fucking feel like. But let's go back to our first card. You know what I'm saying? Fairies and Sylphs, reverse. This card showed up in our reading today to tell everybody about their lack of drive and lack of passion because they're thinking strategically or in a logical sense. But people often forget that logos is also an emotion. To be able to strategically plan something based off of the energy around you and the energy that you want to exude is in itself an emotion because emotions are, as somebody says, you know, I get mad every time this person says that shit because I'm like, it makes sense, but fuck you. Energy and motion. Emotions can be considered energy and motion in most aspects. And for you to think logically, you one first have to put yourself in a mindset that kind of pushes away energy that's not serving you in that moment. You know how some people be like, suck it up, or, you know, push through, keep going. A lot of people have just been pushing through. A lot of people have just been keeping going. A lot of people had their head down with their hands out, taking money, you know what I'm saying, passing it out on the back end as far as like receiving stimulus checks, you know what I'm saying, PDE loans, niggas out here starting their businesses, and everybody's doing a lot of things that they've been wanting to do for years, but which might not necessarily be the thing in which they need to be doing. And it's not because God has some plan written for you, but it's because time is changing. The energy of our plane is changing. And if you have a one-tracked ass mind thinking only about making money, you're going to make that money, and that money is going to make you into its bitch if it has not already. A lot of people are hoes, bitches, sluts to the dollar bill. Okay? And that moves us into the devil card. A lot of people folding on themselves in totality with their own mindsets. Like, we looking at everything as if it is the problem. And this is the reality of when people say that you need to focus on yourself, nobody's doing this to you, nobody's that in itself is also bred out of the mental illness we experience day to day. They feel like you're not going to school, you're not getting a job, you're not out here trying to make money, you're not out here trying to start a family, you're not out here trying to do what somebody else thinks that you should be doing with your life. You know what I'm saying? It breeds an issue, but it's also your fault. But the reality of it is you didn't even get room to really think about who you are, what you want to be in, where you want to be in life, because folks don't have that option. You got every other option that they put in front of you. This is who you should be based off of all the options that we've given you, which causes you to create this demon, this devil in your own mindset, which keeps you constricted. You start putting chains around your feet, chains around your hands, chains around your throat, chains around your third eye and everything else because you want to live how other people are telling you to live because that's the way that you feel society is moving in motion. Like I was saying earlier, the devil just pops up as a reminder that you are trapping yourself. A lot of people have begun the trap of trapping themselves already. We've been warning everybody. And I say we because it's not just me talking about the COVID vaccines, talking about the money that they've been putting out, talking about how everything is going online. That shit isn't just happening because somebody thought about it the day before. They've been planning this shit for years. They've been planning to herd, kill, and sell off whatever the fuck they need to. People are slowly becoming the new mode of currency. Like, These are things that we have to be mindful of. And then we're moving into Three of Fire, reverse. You know what I'm saying? Upright, it seemed like great bearings and prospering, but upside down, we're losing that shit. We've already lost sight of family. We've already lost sight of, um, village. We've lost sight of being truly connected and one within spirit because we feel like we are being ran by a white man that wears a suit that we barely fucking see. We live under the illusion that our reality is ran by multiple people wearing cloaks and a whole bunch of other shit instead of looking at it for what it is. The direct correlation between us and the choices we make is when we decide to take choices. What existed before there was a bubble with a word in it? Multiple words, multiple letters, multiple dialects, multiple everything just floating around in the web that is the world. And now you have someone coming in, ripping pieces of the web off, balling it up, and then feeding it back to you, telling you, you have choices. Here are the choices. And they dress up everything that was already in front of you in a different way so that you feel like it's something completely different than what you were doing before. When in reality, it's the same thing, but now they are just controlling your line of thinking, but they're saying that it's a choice. When in reality, it was never a choice to begin with. It's called conditioning. We are slowly being reconditioned into a new mindset of thinking, and a lot of people aren't paying attention to it. COVID was already conditioning people into the monkey and the barrel syndrome again, because you see how people talk to you if you're not wearing a mask. You see how people talk to you if you're not, following COVID guidelines, whatever that may be. If you're not wearing two masks, like, let's think about that for a second. Two masks, and y'all know everybody's not wearing N95 masks. Y'all know everybody's not wearing the mask that allows them to breathe. So when they're dispelling myths and things like that, people are just searching for things that make them correct instead of truly searching for that in which makes us connected and truly powerful. We have lost sight. We're waiting for God to come back, Jesus to come back. We're waiting for some sense of a savior while we're running to money, waiting for it to fall out of the sack, waiting for more of it to come out of the sack. We're plotting, we're planning, trying to get everybody out of poverty for the gold in the sack. That shit ain't gonna fall out the sack because there was already a predetermined amount of gold that was going into the sack, and God didn't choose unless you're gonna be realistic about it. And in God we trust, in our president we trust, and whoever is controlling our president we trust. That's that's the God y'all trust. That's who's giving out the gold in the sack. But nobody wants to listen to that for real because when you're in survival mode, everything looks nice. Everything, I need to have that. I need to have clothes. I need to go spend $500 on clothes, hair, nails. I need to go out to eat all the time because I deserve to eat good. You know what I'm saying? Nobody's really developing the wealth of the soul. You can't cook. You can't clean. You can't take care of other people, let alone a child. You're not even there mentally, emotionally, physically, spiritually for your family. You're not even there mentally, emotionally, physically, spiritually for yourself. You're not doing your ancestor work. You're not connected to your environment. You're not a human. You're a fucking robot. And that card is exposing that. Like, your passion is so far gone that you thinking so hard, you moving like a cyborg. And we getting into this shit and these two cards. Like, all this shit is talking about a complete and total imbalance. We are reaching a period of more confinement, a period of more despair, a period of more pain. Hold on one second. I got to go grab something because it's dying. Oop, my legs just folded up, honey. But yeah, everything that was wrong with fucking 2020 is going to be hitting us harder in the end of not even the end, like we're rolling into it now. Like people are having adverse reactions to vaccines. And they're not talking about that. People still losing their houses, people still losing their jobs, people still getting shot down in the street. A little while ago, a child of ours was hung from a tree. I think she was like 16, 17, mixed girl, was hung from a tree. And we've become so desensitized as a group of people, as a village, that, you know, all we do is post online about it. We might shut our tears behind our screens and we continue to go back into our robotic habits. You know, I sat and I would wonder as I was growing up, did people really feel the pain of others? Because sometimes I would legitimately feel so much pain from my environment that I just could not be in it. I went to a hospital once to visit my friend, and I don't like hospitals. I went there to visit him. He was in so much pain, and everybody around him was in so much pain that when I left the hospital, the first thing I did was throw up. My fucking core was overloaded because I was the only being in that building receptive. Like when people talk about energetic exchange, they're not just talking about you talking to them, they're just talking about hugging, fucking, all that shit. You're constantly throwing energy at people. You are constantly receiving energy from the sun, from the moon, from the stars. You ever notice how like one star might just pop out to you a little different than the other stars? Like you connected to that star in that particular time because of the way the planets are moving, astrology bullshit. It's a lot. And you know, at the end of the day, like we can sit here and keep going back and forth with each other saying it's your fault, it's my fault, you know what I'm saying? But reality, what it is that we have to take ownership of it as a group. We have to come together as a group in order to fight the illusions, in order to fight everything that is not serving us in this moment. We have to become hyper aware, realistically aware of our situations in the time period that we are experiencing. We are living in a fantasy. Everybody playing Super Mario, Smash Bros, while it's really Donkey Kong going on in the background, eliminating Super Mario's. You know, crossover game of a lifetime. But why play if you know it's not going to help you with longevity? And the last card we're going to look at to wrap up the general reading is this card, which was reversed. Nine of Water. And I'm not even going to read the definition for this card because I already know. A lot of people have been ignoring their emotional states. And a lot of people have been feeling like the victim, which is the way that our reality has everything set up. 9 times out of 10, you want to feel wrong because if you're wrong, it's easy for it to be, you know, made better. Get your wrongs righted through money, through, you know, false gratitude, through not having to experience a real life, through accolades, and accolades go for degrees, checks, job promotions. You feel like you're climbing the ladder to something. Like, let's be mindful of the fact that if there was a ladder, somebody created it. Let's be very mindful of that. And like the energy right now that we need to be watching out for, one, your own personal energy, and two, that in which you can't fucking see. You can only feel it. And if you can't feel it, you're gonna get your head cut off. People are already getting their heads cut off. Folks are already running around like wild chickens. Y'all know how that storm happened in Houston not too long ago? And how all them folks are still down there in Texas living their best life, even though like half of that state was having a fucking blizzard, which is not natural for their ecosystem because they're closer to the water. Think about that shit. More shit like that is going to be happening. And then y'all know we moving into hurricane season and all that shit. be mindful of all of that. Just stay on your toes and really get connected with spirit and grounded. Go buy some water. Not like go buy some water. Go sit by some water. Go put your toes into a creek, ocean, lake. Light you a candle. Come through. You know what I'm saying? Come through. But I'm gonna wrap up that general reading right there. I hope it helps whoever sees it or whoever's watching. And I'm gonna check to see if anybody has bit the bait. I can't even call it bait, but if anybody's interested in a personal reading, I'm open to those at this moment. Hmm. Hold on. Un momento, por favor. Oh, it's all up in there. Okay, so no, all that shit's in there. Okay, let me change that to something else. Because I realized that that shit also makes a difference. So now I'm opening the floor to tarot readings. And I'm going to do the first one for free. Because I always have to do a freebie. So if anybody is watching right now, because I can't see who's watching or like anything like that, you know, put your name in the chat if you want a free tarot reading. I'll probably do like 2 or 3 and wait a little bit longer to see if more people come in. But this is like my first attempt at doing like live paid readings or whatever have you. And I get like a lot of people be turned off by that shit. They're like, oh, tarot readings is voodoo, it's voodoo, it's witchcraft, and you don't even think about how our whole fucking government system is fucking witchcraft. Like, come on. They brainwash people into thinking that America is the best system to live in. They have other people from other countries coming up here looking at black people as if they're the scum of the earth because we figured out that this shit is trash and choose not to participate in various ways. And it's just funny to me, like, personal anecdote. The other day I was hanging out with well, one was half Haitian, half American, the other one was full blown Haitian. And the one that was full blown Haitian was basically I was talking to him about homeless people and how I get out and help the homeless people occasionally. He's like, I can't give homeless people shit, basically. He's like, I come from Haiti, you know what I'm saying? Haiti, they're going through shit, it's a lot of bad shit going on. But you come to America, you can go make you some money. You can go get somewhere, you can do something, you can go make you some money. He kept just talking about going and making some money and shit like that. And I'm like, you don't understand how hard it is for a lot of American people to put themselves in a mind state to be able to go, one, make some money, two, utilize that money in a way that comes back to them, and three, use that money not only to take care of themselves but other people. Like how hard it is to even get to that mindset alone. Like we're looking at how many American teenagers end up with babies before they even leave their mom's house. Their mom is still raising them, and now their mom is raising them and another baby. But 9 times out of 10, the child that had the baby is now raising a child and their parent if the relationship is balanced. But it's not balanced. Like, and that's even goes back into the fucking reading. Like that thing was very broad. And I apologize if it went over some people's heads. Like I'm doing my best to bring it back down and like center it, focal point it, so you could grab something. But I'm pretty sure if you're listening right now, you're grabbing, and you're going. Or your ancestors gonna have it nicely packaged up for you in a way that you can interpret in a dream tonight. But like, yeah, like we just really need to be mindful of our environment, mindful of everything that we're going on. And again, if anybody's interested in a free reading, just put your name in the chat. You know what I'm saying? And I'm probably just going to chill out for a little while. But I'm also here to talk. Like that's free. We can talk. Like I know a lot of people be having questions about Ifa. A lot of people have questions about religion in general. A lot of people have questions about talking to spirits, talking to the dead. A lot of people have questions about how the candles work. And I mean, like, if you got any questions about any of that, feel free to ask me that as well. I've been practicing energy work since I was a child. I wasn't conscious of it growing up, and the moment I became conscious of it, I got fearful of it around the ages between 12 and 15, 10 and 15. And that's when I had my like slow decline with my spiritual abilities, because it just gets heavy once you become more and more aware of it. You start to understand that, it's not all just imagination, but it's really like us being on Earth. Like, Earth is composed of so much shit. And that reminds me, I have to post that video too. I'm doing this thing called School of Life, which talks about spiritual shit, but more importantly, more often than not, us being human and what human experience really is, because a lot of folks try to limit us and make us believe that, we're just here to work and die. Like, even history, going back into religion, all that shit, suggesting that we should just work and die. Everything everybody has ever done was a case system, work and die, but that literally was just written to push this ideology that we have today to the forefront. Y'all see how the caste system starts to change in Egypt as Egypt becomes more Asian and white. Yeah, pay attention to that. In history, we're a lot of people, black people, are worshiping Egyptians that aren't fully black. And when I say aren't fully black, I only say that because a lot of those heathens in Egypt around the time hated their black mothers. They hated their black fathers, whoever happened to be more black, they hated them. But 9 times out of 10, it was their black mamas. That was the first thing that started to get beat the fuck up when the whole race thing started to go into a decline and people started to pick that up more. And I think it started somewhere between Egypt and the resurrection of Rome, which Rome, Greece, and it's another civilization. But I know the Greeks and the Romans for sure are false society. Like, both of their societies are the exact same thing in two different languages. And I believe that their society was a mixture of the Moors and the Arabs and some Africans, because we just had to have original people. Some of the original people, fuck it. The original people, somebody got upset over here. The original people, okay? I get the originals. All right. It's a combination of the originals, the Arabs, and the Asians. Now, what started causing change in people's physical forms is climate. Now, we all understand that the human body is more adaptive than what we like to think, which is why a lot of anti-vaxxers are die hard about anti-vaccines. Because reality of it is, who the fuck really catching polio and all that shit anymore? And like, white people was the main reason we needed vaccines. They came over here, slaughtered most of the Indians, but not all of them. You know what I'm saying? Not all of them. At least that's what they want us to believe. But all the white people came over here and they died they first fucking winter. Not even just talking about food. We're talking about airborne fucking bacteria that was over here. All that shit. White people was just croaking. And y'all want me to believe, and a whole bunch of other people believe, that we should take a vaccine because our immune systems can't defend us from a fucking continent that we have been living on for I don't know how fucking long. And even if other people are coming from other continents and all that shit, like, a lot of people don't think about how the airport has more to do with diseases than somebody coming across the border. Like, the airport, high traffic, right? Not only for people, but for products, for a whole bunch of shit. Like, if they wanted something to go wrong, all they have to do was put it in an airport. Now, why y'all think they start doing all that travel restriction bullshit, open travel back up just so they can restrict it again? Think about that shit. Let's think about that shit. Like, our reality is falling apart in front of us in various forms. Falling apart in front of us in various forms. And we choose to act like it ain't. Y'all heard the candle? Somebody said period. Somebody said period poo. Whoever just rolled up into here, I feel like some new people just rolled into here. Because one, candle started talking. And two, I feel like some new energy has entered the chat. Welcome. You know what I'm saying? Right now, I'm just spilling my thoughts because nobody want to pay for a tarot reading, but I don't really give a fuck. I just say that I had to do this occasionally. I'm making some effort on behalf of my ancestors because they be upset with me for doing this shit for free all the fucking time. But I'm like, people don't always want to pay for shit they need to know. I am one of those who like to learn shit for free. That's why I learn a lot of shit from dead people. But a lot of dead people know a lot of great shit that a lot of these people running around here trying to make me pay for shit don't know and don't even know how to comprehend because they do everything they do for money. But yeah, like, I'm gonna burn some more ancestor money. This is an experiment to see if the new energies that rolled up in here, if y'all doing what y'all need to do, are they, auntie? Because it don't sound like it. Okay, so just a recap. Spirit money. Always use the one with the Asian people face on it because they started this shit. Um, and this is $100 billion or some shit like that. And we're gonna burn it. See how fast it burns. To see what it needs, what y'all need. This one's burning a little bit faster than the last one and more uniform. So y'all receiving, and new energy that rolled in was definitely receiving. Could use a little work still. It's the same thing as before, just not as bad. Like I was talking about earlier, having hiccups with your financial stability, having hiccups with receiving money or accepting money and all that shit. Oh shit, about to set my own finger on fire. Did I burn it? No. But whoever's watching, you just got some more good graces. Y'all be sleep on ancestor money. I don't know why though. Ancestor money is a great way to communicate with other people's ancestors. Especially because 9 times out of 10, the energy be talking and shit. But that's all I really have to share. I'm probably going to talk a little bit more about something because I wanted this to be at least an hour long, whether or not I actually made money or not. Because it's also for my personal development. I'm most likely going to go back to doing this shit like at 3 o'clock in the morning though. Because that's where my tribe be at. My tribe got insomnia. So I'm probably going to do another reading like later on tonight. But the ones that I be doing late night really do be free though. It's just the ones during the daytime that's not as free. But we're going to see. We're going to see. The last thing I think I want to leave y'all with is if you're not doing your candle work, please get into it. You can use a fucking tea light candle. Like that thing back there, that's a tea light candle I got lit for y'all. And all those candles are still now. That's a good sign. When we're looking at candle flames, like flickering candles, mean there's energy around or there's a lot of, I like to call it noise in the room. So that could be your ancestors, other people's energy, whatever it is, it needs to be cleansed. But when I look at like still flames, sometimes it means that the room needs to be cleansed or that the energy is controlled and that, you know, everything is being received how it's supposed to be. Like right now, most of these that I have lit for everybody else are still, and the candle that I have lit for myself is moving because it's always loud in my room. They're always talking shit because I don't listen. I'm a hard-headed spiritualist that you know what I'm saying, is doing the best they can as a hood nigga navigating all of this bullshit, multifaceted bullshit. But it's beautiful shit, you know? Everybody be searching for identity within a group, and they don't even know that once you find identity within yourself, the group will find you, and they'll tell you everything. They'll show you everything, guide you, lead you to everything. Like, the secret about Black people, African people, well, I can't see, but African people, African Americans, Black Americans, those of color, and other races that feel estranged. The beauty of that is that we have now reached the point of becoming the original people. We are now the originals yet again. A lot of us have been reborn. A lot of us have been slowly coming into our abilities and our memories and our work that we're supposed to be doing. I don't do this shit as much because my work is not to be a tarot reader for everybody and every little thing. But I know that I wake up the people that I need to wake up when I interact with them, because my work consists of organizing all of us together. My work consists of setting the spiritualists free so that they can do what they need to do. I'm waking up priestess. I'm waking up warriors. I'm waking up generals. I'm waking up teachers. I'm waking up the village mothers, the village fathers. I'm waking up our elders. I'm making everybody look into their soul, deep within their soul, and bring it out. A lot of people on this fucking plane living in fear of death, living in fear of whoever the fuck they think God is, because that nigga ain't real. Fuck. I was trying not to say that, but it's out there in the world. I don't give a fuck. Like, come on, man. I'm sick of this shit. Our whole energy field, connected energy field, for those that are connected, are fucking sick of this shit. All y'all just looking for somebody else to tell you what to do, and baby, can't nobody tell you what to do because it's your body. You were gifted a body for that purpose. Y'all niggas wanted to live so bad. Y'all came down here to live, and you still want somebody to tell you what to do. What was the point? You should have just stayed in between. But you don't remember that. You don't know what you were doing during that period of time because they fucked up the way that we were born. They fucked up the way that we're dying. They fuck up the way that the earth receives our body. Therefore, a lot of our spirit, a lot of our ancestors and shit are stuck in between, and we got to communicate with them in archaic ass modes of communication, aka money, liquor. And everybody always gets scared about that shit because of the way white people have that shit perceived. Like, come on, bruh. If you know that you had a physical body, like your grandma had a physical body while she was here, your grandma liked physical things, and your grandma had a specific ideology about where she was going when she died, if we're going based off of that, you know that this shit that we're experiencing now is hell. And heaven is just this shit without us being able to see it. Because all people want to do is stay around the people that they love. A lot more often than not, when people realize that they are dying, what the fuck they're thinking about is either the worst shit they've ever done in their life or the best people that they've ever experienced. That's what they're thinking about 9 times out of 10. The worst thing they have ever done in life or the best people that they have experienced in that life. So their spirit is going to be on you, around you, or whoever the fuck your family is around y'all, or they're going to be trapped in what they deem as hell by another spirit. Because if y'all niggas ain't seen Insidious, because that shit put me up on some shit. There are spirits controlling spirits, baby, and spirits controlling spirits, and which control you. So I'm gonna leave y'all with this. Fuck you up real quick. What if? What if? Let's just say for a moment, what if God doesn't have a name or a face or a body or anything like that, because God is more than one spirit that is controlling other people's spirits that control physical bodies that tell you to come back and believe in God, because reality of religion is that the religion does not have power if people aren't putting their energy into whatever they believe to be that entity. Religion does not have power if people who are believing in that religion do not put that energy into that entity. Your God only exists because you make it so. Gods in the hieroglyphs were not gods, they were people. They were manifestations of men and women because men and women existed during that period of time. Everybody always talking about the goddess nut putting the fucking sun and moon into her vagina and ripping it out and shit instead of looking at it for what it is. A woman has a light side and a dark side just like a man, but a woman more often than not can go through her light and dark side without becoming a total bitch. Whereas dudes go through their light and dark side and they either become a total bitch or a total asshole. You know what I'm saying? We got that responsibility of being able to have more control over ourselves, which is the reason why women give birth and men do not. Women carry more responsibility in nurturing and nature and all that shit in the beginning primordially because reality of it is man is an extension of woman. Not to say that man is lesser than, no, never that. But the reality of it is a man cannot birth a child without a woman. And a woman cannot technically give birth to a child without a man, but we're seeing different shit. Not talking about in vitro fertilization and all that shit, but like realistically speaking, like there are some things out here that have the ability to produce offspring without mating, right? So just understanding that we're all made from the same things, we've come from the same fiber of the planet Earth. In some way, shape, or form, there's a physical ability for a woman to either A, impregnate herself, or B, replicate herself so much so that she could just produce herself all over again in a way of cloning, like type shit. Because if you think about childbirth and the way children come out, that child is either going to look like a mixture of the parents or like one parent in particular. But most of the time, like the child has like the mom's head, the mom's eyes, the mom's nose, or the dad's eyes, the dad's nose, and the dad's skin. Like genetics is so fucking crazy, dog. Like I think that's the greatest part of our experience. Watching people throw their fucking genes together. We be getting some people that be looking like anything, man. And I'm not saying that they ugly or nothing like that. I'm just saying they be looking like who put that together? When did they put that together? And why did they put that together? And that could be anywhere on the spectrum. Because I be talking about some fine ass people like that. But like I was really just thinking about that. All of that shit. But I got sidetracked because I just wanted to leave y'all with the God bit. Like God in Egyptian Egyptology, whatever their religion, whatever the fucking word for that is the man, the woman, the child. That is God. Being able to produce, conceive, and allow another spirit's passage into our physical world, that is the ability of a God. If you are made in God's image, God was a human. And therefore, y'all saying God, 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 y'all giving whoever wants to be God in that moment power or whatever the fuck. So just be more mindful about how you use your words and stop inviting that nigga JC into your chats. That's an invasive ass spirit. Very invasive ass spirit. And I'm gonna leave y'all for real with that because I'm starting to get overloaded. That's the word. I'm starting to get overloaded. And this could go into a very dark, deep track that a lot of you motherfuckers probably not ready for. But if you are, follow me on Instagram at Jane.done. I be losing my mind on there occasionally. And I don't do this sometimes. Sometimes you gotta catch me on a good day. On a bad good day. But yeah, I hope that this resonated with somebody that passed through. I didn't make no money today, but I feel like I made some ancestral friends. A lot of people's ancestors are happy about what was shared today. And my skin feels good. I'm vibrating, or somebody likes to say I'm activated. And yeah, I'll see y'all probably in like 2 weeks or maybe next month. I try to do this shit like once a month. First, my goal was twice a month, but then I missed last month, so I was like, okay, we're gonna go back down to once a month. We're gonna see how that goes. I enjoyed the company. for those that stayed on. It did show like it was like 2 or 3 of y'all that stayed during the whole period. And I appreciate the support. I love you. Your ancestors love you. Your guides love you. And for the one that's not talking to them, somebody is very emotional. She says talk to her more. Talk to her more and listen a little bit more. And she miss you and she love you dearly. And she has tears, but I'm not gonna cry because I'm not trying to fully take on whatever y'all got going on or what y'all going through because I didn't sign up for that. I'm out of here with that note.